There are close to 2 million nonprofits in the United States, and 12.5 report vacancies in senior management positions. Executive directors are exhausted and frustrated as they take on more work on top of leading the organization. Staff feel undersupported, overwhelmed, causing burnout and retention struggles. This creates a significant problem in the ability of nonprofits to effectively and sustainably serve their communities, which causes concern for board members as well. I'm Alexandra de Queso-Loftus, founder and CEO of ADKL Consulting. I have over 25 years of experience working with nonprofits, and I have seen and felt the damaging effects of this capacity and leadership gap when these key positions are not filled. As a nonprofit leader, I often had to hold up multiple positions at once, which also took away my time and energy from my team and their needs. As a board member, work was shifted to us, taking more of our time and energy for what in truth should have been a paid position. ADKL Consulting fills this gap by providing seasoned integrated leadership, amplifying the impact of these nonprofits. This includes embedded and accountable leadership to share the workload and own the outcomes, strategy and execution to ensure plans and ideas are implemented, and a predictable and flexible retainer model, allowing organizations to manage costs while meeting the changing needs of their communities. For us that are helping nonprofits and the government solve their problems, this is about a $74 billion industry, which accounts for about 18.2% of the management consulting industry. Further refining the focus to mid-sized organizations that require senior leadership support, the market is $8 billion. ADKL plans to reach $209,000 by 2028, which is a tiny fraction of the market as we get our work going. Our focus in 2026 is really about building the foundation of ADKL Consulting with a small client load. In 2027, our mix of clients are going to shift to the fractional model, which is the embedded leadership support. And then we'll see most of our growth and profit in 2028 when we aim to have 3 to 4 fractional clients at a given time. It is not just about addressing a need, it's also about doing good business. We have 3 revenue sources that will come in and they will feed into each other as needed. There's project-based work for smaller scoped work, consulting and advisory for high-level guidance, and our flagship fractional leadership, which is embedded expertise and leadership support, typically lasting for 6 months or longer. Unlike competitors that offer one or the other, our flexible service offerings are meant to meet the need of each organization at that time. By working with ADKL Consulting, organizations can amplify their mission, staffing, and impact even during uncertain times. Our initial contracts have validated the need and proved our value. Additional conversations have led to a shift in perspective and openness to considering the fractional model, especially in regards to hiring a fractional person instead of adding another board member that has that level of expertise. So my ask of you today is simple. Help me connect to the leaders and board members who could benefit from our services. If you understand the fractional model, help socialize it and help shift the funding models to allow for better support. If you know of grants that support capacity, pass them along to us. I would love to be able to use those to provide services to organizations who may not otherwise be able to afford it. Thank you very much.
Women aren't lacking, the system is. Healthcare was not designed to listen to women. And without the body literacy or language to clearly describe what they're experiencing, women are repeatedly dismissed, misdiagnosed, and left paying the price. Financially, through a $15 billion out-of-pocket gap, and emotionally through a profound toll on self-worth. Hi, I'm Allie Bergman, founder of Alexa, a platform for health education and advocacy that gives women the language, context, and tools to push for better care. Through a visionary female anatomy library, subscription-based education, and premium advocacy tools, Alexa helps women ask better questions, communicate symptoms clearly, and respond when they aren't being heard. For more than 20 years, I've worked in design, storytelling, and strategy, translating complex ideas into compelling, human-centered communication. And that matters because Alexa is built to make health information not only accurate, but usable, memorable, and emotionally resonant. Alexa provides a robust solution, carving out a unique white space, for we are not just health content, not just community, not just advocacy. We combine credible, whole body education with practical tools that turn information into action. Our market outlook is robust, with an $11.4 billion industry to grow in. Therein, we've identified an audience of nearly 2 million highly motivated users. And by the end of year 3, our goal is to convert 30,000 paid subscribers, generating $2.1 million in subscriber revenue. Veluxa is structured as a hybrid model overseen by an expert advisory board. The nonprofit houses the Female Anatomy Library and serves as the brand's trust engine. The for-profit studio creates the content, tools, and IP that drive revenue through subscriptions, premium advocacy tools, and merchandise sales. Together, they create a strong ecosystem for trust, retention, and referrals. We plan to launch the paid subscription in early 2027. By the end of 2030, Veluxa projects $5.3 million in annual revenue. To support this growth, our marketing plan is built on a simple principle. Our product is the marketing. Every piece of high-quality content will be repurposed across marketing channels, serving to attract, convert, and retain customers all at once. And Veluxa is already seeing meaningful traction through notable survey participation, organic outreach, and our successful MVP dialogue guide. But in women's health, trust is the product. Free content may bring users in, but credibility is what converts them to a paid subscription. And that requires expert oversight and a rigorous editorial system. And that is why I'm seeking $150,000 in seed capital to finish business development, create that first wave of content, and establish our credibility infrastructure. Thank you, and please join us at veluxa.com.
Every spring, over 1 million northern households put seeds in the ground. By August, almost half have failed. $400 million of food never harvested, not because people aren't trying, but because the knowledge that fed the North was inherited season to season for generations and lost without anyone realizing it. Taiga Farm and Seed is reclaiming cold climate food gardening for the northern states. More people are planting every year, from distrust of the system and climbing food costs to wanting to know what they're feeding their families. And we're being misled by advice for someone else's climate. Taiga's mission is to help northern gardeners grow food with confidence so they can cultivate resilience and self-sufficiency in their homes and neighborhoods. I'm Caroline Hagstrom, the founder with 9 seasons running a certified organic farm and decades gardening in zones 3 and 4. I'm a USDA trained organic inspector, a FINNovation fellow, and sit on the boards that shape farming in Minnesota. I've surrounded myself with advisors who've built and scaled real companies. Here's what I learned in those years. 4 forces decide every northern harvest: heat, earth, available days, and twilight. Master those 4 and the harvest follows. We've turned that into a framework, and that framework is our IP, the heat compass. It powers everything we sell. Seeds bred for the cold, skills in a library that grows every year, sensors in the garden, and the app that reads them all, turning soil and sky into the northern gardener's voice in your pocket. Today, that northern gardener is on their own. Burpee sells seeds bred for Tennessee, YouTube sells ads, ambient weather says the soil is 42 degrees and walks away. 3 markets, all selling the same thing: more stuff. But it was never a money problem. Buy all 3 and you own a more expensive failed garden. They sell things, we sell the harvest, and it's working. Seed revenue is up 83% year over year. Our email list has tripled in 6 months. Average order value has doubled, and the market is growing. Seeds, $500 million, skills, $2 billion, climate intelligence, $800 million, $3.5 billion, and we're building on data no one is even considering. That's what makes Taiga the platform. With the goal of 1.6 million in 5 years, we price for the way people actually garden. 4 building blocks: seeds, skills, sensors, and app, bundled by garden size and skill, or by anyone that on its own. We're raising $550,000, 18 months of runway. Most of it goes to the team and the Compass app and the parts of the business that compound the quickest. The rest builds the audience and stocks the shelves. Our social impact and the business are the same curve. Every dollar we earn is a household growing in confidence and self-sufficiency. Over 1 million northern households, $400 million of lost food, 1 company to build the harvest. Join us as we cultivate the North.
Most youth in Minnesota can create a TikTok, but can't create a Word document. That's Minnesota's silent crisis. 92% of modern careers require digital literacy skills, and Minnesota is ranked 49th in the nation for digital literacy access. That means over 120,000 urban and rural youth across the state are being set up to fail before they even start. Poor education leads to a lack of skills. A lack of skills blocks access to high-wage jobs, and blocked access perpetuates poverty, generation after generation. At Cryptic Institute, we refuse to let that cycle continue. I'm Devin Boeing, founder of Cryptic Institute, where we help youth understand tech and finance, the real-world applications, and their impacts in society, so they can build wealth and secure quality jobs. So how do we solve Minnesota's digital literacy gap? We meet youth where they already are, in their communities, through partnerships with schools, libraries, and rec centers that license our curriculum and purchase our workshop services, and online through our social media content and our soon-to-launch learning management system, giving youth access to high-quality tech and finance education anywhere, anytime, for free. We're not waiting for the system to change, we're building the bridge. And that bridge sits inside a massive market. Minnesota's upscaling and edtech certification spend represents a $2.3 billion TAM. We're focused on $181 million for our serviceable market, and our target, just 1% of that by year 3. But here's what separates us. Legacy LMS platforms have the structure, social media has the reach, local organizations have the relationships, but nobody except Cryptic Institute combines all 5 major areas: entertaining education delivery, cultural representation, turnkey curricula, measurable outcomes, and scalable delivery. We don't just teach, we connect. Because underserved youth don't just need access to education, they need to see themselves in it. That mission is powered by a hybrid model built to sustain itself. Delivery partners, schools, libraries, community hubs license our IP and purchase workshops. Funders and corporate sponsors cover LMS subscriptions and workshop seats. And our youth receive world-class education completely free of charge. So why am I the one to build this? Because I've lived this problem. I'm a licensed educator and a digital creator with over 35,000 followers built in just 3 months, teaching tech and finance to the exact communities I grew up in. My background spans across education, marketing, technology, and community leadership. I don't just understand the solution, I am the proof of concept. And the market is already responding. With these 30,000 followers in 90 days, key partnerships locked in with St. Paul Public Libraries, Carlson School of Management, and other Minnesota organizations, along with us being awarded $50,000 through the FINNale Fellowship, which is a competitive grant that validates both our mission and model. Now is the time to scale. Right now, I'm a solo entrepreneur facilitating workshops, building curriculums, and creating content. I can only reach so many of that 120,000 youth alone. That's why we're seeking $500,000 for investments, $200,000 for our LMS platform development and production, $50,000 for our IP protection and legal support, and $250,000 to hire the team that will carry this mission beyond what one person can do. 120,000 Minnesota youth are waiting. The gap is real, the market is ready, the model works. Help us take Minnesota from 49th to 1st. Visit us at www.cryptic.institute and let's close this gap together.
Our kids are starving creatively, and our artists are just starving. Though the arts are central to the Twin Cities' cultural and educational identity, the professionals that sustain that ecosystem are earning 28% below the regional average. And when artists have to patch together income just to survive, instability leaks into our communities. Burnout and toxic environments normalize, passionate artists become overwhelmed business owners, all while schools are losing vital arts programming, causing us to lose safe creative spaces right when we need them the most. My name is Emma Hoytia, founder of Mosaic Performing Arts, and I've experienced every corner of this problem. With over a decade of youth theater education experience, currently singing professionally in the Twin Cities, and a degree in business management and administration, I know the world needs leaders who understand both creativity and infrastructure. People who can build environments where artists are supported, students feel psychologically safe, and communities have somewhere sustainable to gather and grow. Mosaic is an upstream solution to a downstream crisis, solving 2 problems along the way by stabilizing artist employment and delivering high-quality arts education to students, schools, and institutions through several primary revenue streams. Through community education partnerships and direct-to-school contracts, we bring arts programming directly into district facilities. We bring artistic principles into professional development to improve workplace culture and provide a higher margin revenue stream. We're developing proprietary, universal design for learning-based curriculum that integrates performing arts with STEM and workforce development standards. This allows us to scale beyond the Twin Cities by licensing our systems, pedagogy, and workbooks to educational organizations nationally and globally. Right now, Mosaic operates through a highly mobile model where our market opportunity is already substantial, capturing $2.42 million in revenue annually. Opening a true third space that's not just a studio, but a community anchor and a permanent home allows us to deepen trust and consistency within the community while giving Mosaic instructional teams the physical space to grow in their skills and be sent out into the communities you love. Our brick and mortar studio unlocks additional revenue through lessons, rentals, and performances. By capturing just 5% of the local fine arts school market and 10% of amateur performance venues, our projected revenue is up to a potential $4.78 million annually. But what makes Mosaic unique is the integration of education, performance, curriculum, and artist support into one ecosystem. Employing a W-2 employment model, administrative infrastructure, and district partnerships to provide something rare in the arts world: stability. So our vision is relatively simple: to strengthen the performing arts ecosystem by investing in artists as educators, creating structured opportunities for them to diversify their income, transform their leadership, and expand their community impact. Join us by exploring our programming or helping us reach our goal of $1.65 million in fundraising to establish our brick and mortar studio, covering 1 year of leasing, insurance, and utilities until our programming turns the storefront into a self-sustaining ecosystem. We're not just building arts programming, we're building creative infrastructure for the future of the Twin Cities.
Everyone deserves to age well in a place where they feel safe and familiar. For most adults who are 50 and older, that place is in their current residence. But for 45% of them, they feel like relocating is inevitable. And just over half of them believe that the reason that they'll need to relocate is that they'll need a home that is easier to maintain. And that's where we come in. My name is Malik Mitchell, founder of Heartwood Home Stewards, and we help older adults stay in their current homes as long as possible by inspecting it top to bottom every quarter and catching those little things before they become a big issue. If a repair is needed, we coordinate with local tradespeople to get the job done right and manage that project from end to end. We keep families in the loop about what's going on with a digital report that gets sent to them after each repair and quarterly. We want to be that one trusted phone number that families do not have today. And that's important because by the year 2030, Minnesotans who are 65 and older will outnumber kids who are under the age of 18 for the first time in history, which means that we have a huge market to be addressed, about $4.8 billion for aging in place services. Our target audience is folks who live in the Twin Cities, 65 and older, who are able to self-pay for those services, and we hope to capture just over $1 million, which is 1% by year 5. How we stack up in terms of our competition, if you take a look at this chart, towards the bottom you see subsidized and free options. As you go higher, that's more premium and self-paid. As you move right, you go from reactive to maintenance focused, and that's where Heartwood really shines, as well as building relationships with older adults and their families. Our primary revenue model is going to be a predictable subscription-based quarterly service. We expect most folks to fall within the core, the middle column, which would allow us to break even by month 4 and reach a little over $240,000 in revenue by year 3. Additional streams of income include a repair coordination fee to be paid by the service provider, standalone home assessments for those who aren't quite ready for a subscription, and professional development opportunities for service providers. We've had significant support by industry leaders, including Courtney Burton, president of the Minnesota chapter of the AARP, who says this is the right support coming at exactly the right time. And I believe both of those things are true, and I'm the right person to do it. I have a master's degree in healthcare administration and policy, and I've also worked in assisted living. I'm in the process of becoming a certified home inspector for that technical credibility, and I've been a family caregiver my entire life, which means that I'm not just spectating from the outside, I'm really building Heartwood from inside the problem, which is why I'm seeking $20,000 to help fund an education-based curriculum for service providers so that they can understand the intricacies of working with older adults inside their home. That's going to go towards research and development, expert advising, and a learning platform to host that curriculum. So if you want to help us keep older adults in their homes that they love, scan the QR code and stay in the loop with Heartwood Home Stewards. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rami Mohammed, and a founder and CEO of Twin Cities Textile Lab. We're building Minnesota's very first zero-waste clothing factory. Right now, local businesses spend $123 million a year on textile, but our manufacturing system is broken. Imagine you're a talented creator right here in the Twin Cities. You spent months perfecting a design, but when you're trying to get it made, you hit a wall. Local factories demand a minimum order of 1,000 pieces. That is $20,000 investment before you sell even one shirt. So, like 95% of Minnesota designers, you are forced to ship your vision overseas. You wait 12 weeks for samples, lose creative control, and participate in a system that throws away 15% of raw fabric straight into trash. I know this pain because I've lived it. With 15 years of experience in fashion design and garment construction, I watched a $123 million market walk out of our state. Designers aren't leaving Minnesota because they want to. They are leaving because they have no other choice. Today, we're giving them that better choice. I engineered this business layout from inside to fix the problem. With my background, I don't just know garment construction, I know how to train sewers, build a skilled production team. Our Twin Cities factory brings pattern making, high quality production, and workforce training under one local roof. We're closing the local skill gap so we don't have to rely on overseas labor. Instead of requiring 1,000 units, our minimum order is just 10 to 25 pieces, making small batch manufacturing friendly and affordable. Our flat rate pricing is clear with zero hidden fees. We deliver within 2 to 3 weeks instead of 3 months because we are right here in the Twin Cities. Best of all, we create a smart cutting system that results in zero fabric waste, turning an industry expense into our competitive profit. The business opportunity here is massive. The United States fashion market is $9.9 billion industry. Our addressable market here in Minnesota is $123 million, which will include fashion labels as well as custom soft goods like aprons, uniforms, and branded tote bags for local coffee shops, restaurants, schools, and etc. Our 3 to 5 year target is a modest $1.2 million. To hit this goal, we do not need to take over the whole industry. We only need to capture less than 1% of our local market, which means serving just 40 regular clients. To launch our factory, we're raising $250,000 in seed round. A key portion of this capital goes directly into a workforce training program to build a strong local talent pool. By year 3, our 40 clients will drive $1.5 million in revenue and 9% net margin. This investment creates 18 fair wage jobs and builds a clean, sustainable future for our local manufacturer. Let's build together.
People are not broken. The systems they work in are. Hi, I'm Dr. Sheila Sweeney, a licensed therapist, consultant, speaker, and author. For more than 25 years, I've helped people navigate the weight of stress, trauma, and healing. Every day, organizations are navigating burnout, mistrust, and high turnover. And many leaders are trying to solve these challenges with surface-level wellness solutions while deeper stress patterns go unnoticed. In some industries, it can cost approximately $61,000 to replace one full-time employee. When stress becomes a culture, burnout, turnover, and mistrust become the cost. Kinetic Calm helps organizations move from reactive stress to sustainable calm through reflective leadership, organizational regulation, and healthier workplace cultures. We help organizations assess stress, strengthen leadership, and build high-trust cultures. At the center of this work is the Kinetic Calm organizational regulation model. Because organizations do not move from chaos to calm overnight, they move through stages. from kinetic chaos to healthier, more stable, and sustainable workplaces. This work bridges both systems, strategy, and human-centered healing. Traditional consulting often focuses only on systems. Wellness solutions often focuses only on individuals. Kinetic Calm bridges both. My work has supported organizations across public health, human services, early ed, and community groups. And the common thread is that people are overwhelmed. Organizations want workplaces where people want to stay, places where people actually want to work. The need for this work is growing. Kinetic Calm operates within a growing organizational wellness and leadership market through consulting, coaching, speaking, training, and digital strategy tools. Our immediate focus is the Twin Cities market, where we are targeting approximately 3% of the opportunity, representing a $1.68 million growth target over the next 3 years, with projected revenue scaling from approximately $114,000 in 2027 to more than $1 million by 2029. In addition to consulting and leadership support, Kinetic Calm is developing a digital platform designed to support healthier systems and communities. This includes a HIPAA-aligned platform, healing resources, and scalable support tools organizations can use beyond consulting engagements. These tools will also help expand access to reflective and healing-centered support for BIPOC community healers, helping professionals, and everyday people. This is our social impact. Today, I am seeking organizational partnerships and opportunities to bring this work into healthcare, higher ed, nonprofit, and community systems. Don't let stress become the culture and burnout, turnover, and mistrust become your cost. The goal is not simply workplace wellness. The goal is healthier systems, healthier leadership, and healthier communities. Let's fix the system together. Learn more by visiting drshelasweeney.com. Thank you.
70% of consumers prefer to buy from brands that reflect their beliefs. Where does your money go after you spend it? Does it support your personal and social values or undermine them? For values-driven cannabis consumers, that question carries even greater weight. Hi, I'm Tawan Morrow. For me, it's personal. My community was targeted. The harm is still visible. And the people who paid the highest price are being left out of the ownership and wealth legalization is creating. Black entrepreneurs represent less than 2% of ownership in the regulated cannabis industry, and consumers are skeptical of unverified social impact claims. It's Personal transforms everyday cannabis purchases into a transparent way to support Black entrepreneurs and reinvest in the communities most harmed by criminalization. We serve socially conscious professionals seeking premium cannabis products that support both their well-being and their principles. Minnesota's cannabis market is projected to exceed $1.5 billion. We are targeting a $154 million premium segment, and capturing just 3.5% represents a $5.4 million annual revenue opportunity. It's Personal uniquely combines curated cannabis experiences, high social impact, and transparent accountability. We monetize trust before we monetize retail through workshops, experiences, and memberships before launching high-margin cannabis retail and hospitality. I've secured $50,000 in non-dilutive fellowship support, completed accelerator programs, and built strategic relationships across the industry, providing the foundation to validate demand through workshops and our Impact Tracker MVP. We raise capital in stages, with each milestone tied to specific deliverables that reduce risk and prepare the business for retail launch. I combine lived experience, systems consulting expertise, and specialized cannabis industry training with advisors across cannabis, finance, and operations. Our projections show a scalable path to more than $5 million in annual revenue, proving that mission and profitability can grow together. We are raising $150,000 to build the Impact Tracker, launch workshops, and establish the foundation of Minnesota's most mission-aligned cannabis brand. I'm not building this company simply to participate in the cannabis industry. I'm building it to give consumers a trusted way to turn every purchase into a direct investment in the values and communities they care about. If your values align, let's build restorative justice retail together. Thank you.